welcome back to the channel. As you can see, Purdey's out. We took her out for the solstice to go and visit some friends. So this week we're going to get on with showing you how we can fit that 20 quid rev counter into Purdey. And while we're waiting for the retrim kit for the headrest for Delilah to come, we're going to look at this alternator. Now, this has already been around the Sahara, but not in the car. We took it with us on Santana just in case the one that we had in Purdey failed. But so that we don't have to take Purdey off the road, we're going to have a look at this to see if we can find, we will be able to find the W feed on here and put the wire on that will allow us to use that new rev counter. But we think we've got to take this cover off and find the feed from a connection that's underneath the cover.
There's a video online that gives us some clues.
So as we thought, we've got to take this cover plate off. To do that, looks like there's 3 little nuts here, which we think are M8. About this, we have to take that off. Whatever that is, that little nut there.
I'll take it off.
It doesn't look like it should. Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure that's holding it as well. I think we've got to get rid of that. Still not coming off then. So the online video didn't actually show you how to get this top off, which isn't as easy as it obviously looks because this terminal is going through it. That looks more likely to come off now. Yes. Excellent. Okay. This is the inside of your alternator. Now, on the video, it said, starting with the fins from the left, it's the second nut round that gives you a W feed. And we have to put a ring terminal on that with a wire coming off, although we haven't quite worked out how the wire gets out from under the cover yet. So the terminal is right underneath this little lug.
Come out through there.
Do you think there's enough room?
Yeah, it's clear there.
Maybe that's why there's a little shaping in the case so that you can get a wire out from underneath. We're going to see if that works. The box of electrical connectors comes in handy again. So this little connector is going to go into that little nut, which is here. There we go. Onto the W feed. And hopefully that green wire is going to come out underneath the cover. That work? Yes. So why have we used the green wire? Let me just show you on this instructions that came with the rev counter. Lights on that. So it's showing there a green wire between the alternator and the back of the gauge. So this green wire is eventually going to go into the back of this gauge that you saw on last week's video. This came from eBay. I think it was about 20 quid, something like that. Okay, so we put green wire on and now we're going to cover it up with a bit of insulation, but that's better than risking having a short anywhere. Now, of course, we can't actually test this until the alternator's working, which clearly it isn't at the moment. So we're going to put everything back on, and then you've all got to cross your fingers with us that when we eventually get round to putting this on the car, that it actually works. But there's no reason why it shouldn't work, I'm sure. So this alternator is now modified. As you can see, a bit of wires coming off with this bit that's going to be elongated and go up to the dash, where it's going to go into the back of this. So when we take the other alternator off Purdey, we'll make the same modification on that, and then that comes with us as our spare. I'm just looking at how we get the alternator off Purdey to change it for the one that we've modified. So the alternator is down here, which isn't the easiest thing to get to. So what do we think? I think that's got to come off.
All of that, this lot. So it'll have to come out through here, I think.
Yeah. That's a job for another day. So exciting day. The Headrest Retrim kit has arrived. It's a huge box though, so I'm not really quite sure what I'm going to find in here, apart from a retrim kit. Oh, okay, it is still a huge box, but rather than just the cover, I've actually got new foam as well. Mind you, those two things, look at the size, this is ridiculous packaging. That's all that was in there. The box is about twice the size it needs to be. So, wasn't really expecting a foam, was just expecting this bit. So now we have to decide whether we're actually going to use a new foam, because it doesn't have, you remember I showed you the bit of wood in the middle, or whether we stick with the old foam. Decisions. This is the foam that we took out. You would have seen that on the video before. This appears to actually be stuck in this bit at the bottom, so I'm thinking that we're just going to recover this one because there's really nothing wrong with it. It looks like it might be a very slightly different shape, or that might be an optical illusion because this is white and that's yellow, but there's basically nothing wrong with this. So I'm going to turn this inside out and we're going to have a go at putting it on. That matches the seat covers. I don't know why the piece of plastic is on there, although actually logically that might just help it slide in easier, I suppose. This is one of these things where you probably need to have 3 hands, but let's see how we go with this. Of course, Chris has come up with a much better idea, sticking it in the vise, and then you don't have to spear yourself with the mounting plinth bit. Okay, so now we've just got to do the folding bit at the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to fold the first bit round to get that secured and stapled in place into that wooden bit. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, so now we need to do like a fold that you do when you're tucking your sheets in if you make your bed like the old-fashioned way. So do a fold a little bit like that. It's a bit like wrapping a parcel, really. It's a bit difficult to do this and film at the same time. And then that's going to come over and we're going to staple it all in place. So that's the 2 kind of envelope corners done. Now we've got to do the other bit. Okay, probably need a few more staples in there before we put the cover plate on. Then we've got this cover plate to put back on to hide up all of those raw edges of the fabric, and we've got 2 screws there and there to hold that in place. And there we are, one headrest done. It was pretty easy actually, that, compared to the seat back. So that just needs to go into the car now. So just to finish this off, that literally just presses in, and voila. Voila. This is the old seat base that came off those seats that we picked up a couple of weeks ago. We're going to get rid of this old leather cover and see what the foam's like underneath. It was obviously glued on there at some point, wasn't it? That's glue marks, yeah. Now for this, we've obviously got to take something off at the bottom. We may be able to get the retrim kit and see what comes with it.
Yep.
Okay, so I've got the new cover here. Chris has just removed this rubber bit which kind of holds the cover in place, but I think we've probably still got some other bits to take out. The new cover has got holes in it to go over those lugs that locate the back of the seat. We need to look at where that bit of kind of this little things here. No, you can't pull that off.
I can pull that off because I have pulled that off.
But surely you've got to get them fixings out now.
Probably, but it'll be a damn sight easier when this is normally. As I don't care about tearing this. But we need to work out where this stringy stuff goes as well. Yep. It goes across the back.
Did you have to tie it?
Yep, it tensions that. That's what I've just cut.
So there's sort of a little metal channel that the cover slides under, and then the plastic and rubbery bit that I showed you that Chris had taken off kind of keeps it all in place. Okay, so let's have a look at the condition of this foam. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, is it?
That's fine. I'll go with that.
So there's these little kind of plastic, I don't know what you call them, they're like plastic nails, I suppose, that just help to keep the whole cover in place, that push into that base.
these little things. Decided it's maybe better to start this from the back and work forwards rather than try and pull it over. I'm not sure how well any of this is going to work, to be honest. We'll get there. We've got to pull this up and get it under that metal bit, haven't we?
It's got to go into there before you start pulling the string tight.
Does the that bit of rubber not go into that hole though?
Yes.
Okay, and this.
Yep.
Okay. Just show you here what we're going on about. So there's this kind of channel. Don't know if you can see this, a bit difficult. So this edge that's got the string stuff going through has got to go into that channel before we pull the string tight. Do you think I kind of need to start pulling the string tight and you guide it in?
Because otherwise it just keeps going.
It's kind of there, but it's not easy to pull this. Maybe we have to put the rubber bit in kind of at the same time.
Possibly.
It seems to be working, doesn't it? Right, if I try and pull this string a little bit, it doesn't really seem to move, to be honest. Okay, so we now, these bits of string, let's call them, were kind of somewhere through the metal before, but I can't really actually see how to do that. So we're going to try knotting them because it's going to be covered up by that kind of flap anyway. So we're thinking that we're probably not going to try and put those plastic pins in, because to put them in you've got to make holes in this, which seems a bit daft. That makes it weaker. So now what we've got is this metal rod that goes through this flap at the end and then clips over these little bits in the seat, like so, to hold it all in place. Push those tabs right down to make sure that that won't come out. And that is a recovered seat base. So now all I have to do is just fit that seat base in. I think we've done all of the remedial jobs now on Delilah after the damned occur. Incidentally, we still don't have footage or photos from damned occur, which is so annoying. You can be sure that as soon as I get them, I'll share them with you. So end of another week. It's going to be a scorching hot weekend here in France, and actually into next week as well. So I don't know how much we'll get done. We've got some little jobs to get on with on Purdey, and hopefully we'll do part 2 of the rev counter installation. So until then, have a great weekend everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, because we're only at this moment 3 subscribers away from the first 500, so that would be a great milestone to reach. So we'll see you next week.